I would like to present Pamela Cuccinell, who is here with us from Mexico. And she's going to give us a bit of a snapshot or a summary of what's happening and what's going on in the universe.
Okay, well, that's kind of a big subject. So, but I'll talk about now, the present, because that's when we work with the present, it basically anticipates and predicts and brings into shape our future. And the meditation you did was very interesting to me because right now we're in dark of moon period because the new moon is tomorrow, which is also Earth Day. And so this is just perfectly timed for Hasita's presentation. The thing about this particular Earth Day is it has the Taurus new moon. Taurus new moon doesn't always fall on Earth Day. So it has a particular, I think, fecund and fertile opportunity for us to work the Taurus energy. And Taurus is in all of our celestial DNA, all the signs are. It's just for some of us, it may be emphasized more than others. But right now, we're in the dark of moon period. And the moon is in Aries, as I mentioned to Kathy earlier. So it's perfect time to really burn off anything that you don't want to bring with you into the next lunar cycle. Because every new moon, we have an opportunity to basically reinvent our story. And of course, we're not going to like wipe off in a whole new slate. But one of the things that's so interesting to me about this new moon is it's very, in my language, powerfully aspected in a auspicious way. So that moon in Taurus, which is an Earth moon, so Earth moon is about manifestation, creating something, our physical body. And so as it moves through the sky, it's going to be touched by the planet Neptune, which is now in Pisces. So it gets some inspirational juice. What is the dream we're dreaming? It gets jazzed by Uranus, which is now in the sign of Taurus. So expect the unexpected insofar as inspiration. I'll talk about that in a moment. But also Jupiter, which is in Capricorn now, the great benefic. Now, whatever Jupiter comes into geometric aspect with, it expands. And in this time of what I've been referring to as enforced hermitage, we have the opportunity to see what's going on in our emotional landscape. It's not as easy to ignore it or not pay attention to it. And Taurus is linked to the planet Venus. Venus is in the sign of Gemini right now, the communicator. So what is the communication you're having with people you love in relationships, people you're in relationship with? But I've also been thinking we're in relationship with a lot of people we don't even know. You read the news, you look at something that captures you, and you are in relationship, energetic dialogue with whatever you're reading or experiencing, perhaps on the media. So my feeling here with this particular new moon, especially since we're going to have Venus go retrograde in less than a month. So this is the new moon that basically is on the threshold of how we rethink our Venus. Venus is what we value, how we love, and a lot of us are thinking about what we value in this time of the pause. So relationships are super important, but also the energy you put to relationships that may not even be in your physical field. And when I say this, I'm referring to how much energy we put into the news in relationship with maybe certain political figures. I'm certainly not going to talk politics or celebrities. And think about what energetic charge are you putting out? Because in this time of such extreme polarities, where we've seen governments and countries and people really get into separate camps, it's very interesting, the manifestation of this virus that has literally created all kinds of separations and ones we don't really want. So I invite you to come into this new moon thinking about the world we are creating and what we create. We are incredibly talented. The human race is able to conceive and create all kinds of things, but we don't always do it consciously. And this is an opportunity for us to really be conscious of what we're creating. And I think that's a lot of what we're on the threshold on. And I'll just say this, which is, I think, obvious to all of us at this point, when people would say to me, we've got to save the earth, we've got to work to get the earth better. And I'd say, the earth is going to be fine without us. The question is, can we co-create, be in collaborative dialogue with the earth that we will survive? And I see this as an opportunity for us to really check in with whatever fears, anxieties. These are waves of emotions that come up. But in the end, we can consciously control what it is we're working, how we're working it. And this new moon invites us to do this. And as Venus goes retrograde from early May to June, we have 4 months of Venus in Gemini. So what kind of communication and dialogue do we really want? That's it, Kathy.
Thanks, Pamela. That was great. Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Before I introduce you to Hasita, many of you may know Hasita already, but I do want to check in with a couple of our members who I know that they are having events. And Katie, I know that you're having a gathering on Friday night. Did you want to say a few words about that?
Sure. I'm going to be holding, we usually have it at the HL Center, a new moon, a women's circle for the new moon that we were just chatting about. Thank you, Pamela. So we'll be doing some guided visualization, journaling, sharing, and oracle cards and a little intention setting. So that'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to be holding it over Zoom. And if you want to come, you can just email me or drop your email address in the chat box before the end of the night, and I'll reach out to you with the details.
Perhaps you can put your email into the chat box?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Cynthia, you're holding Reiki shares every Saturday, or?
Hey, yes, every Saturday now, without any cost. I'm having a Zoom meeting in which there's kind of like a creative interplay. We talk with each other, and usually I pose a positive question. We do a meditation, we do movement, we dance our way out. So it's a very eclectic, supportive, lovely meeting. So anyone who would like to join in the supportive environment, we'd love to have you.
So would you put your email into the chat box as well?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. I want to give you a little heads up about Hasita Nadai. Hasita's been around teaching yoga in Westchester County area for a long time, and she has, if you read the invitation on the internet, she's covered a lot of territory over the years. She's gotten degrees from Barnard University and Columbia University, in zoology and cell physiology. But what's most interesting, and one of the things that has inspired her to teach this YogaGaia course, is that she has a master's in geology. And so this whole YogaGaia practice is about our interaction with the cosmos and the story of the cosmos and the earth. She's been a big proponent of earth ecology and sustainability, and she leads trips to Italy. So we're going to have a little question and answer after she's finished, and when we're finished with the practice. But I want to be sure that everyone has plenty of room and that paying attention. You all got a handout with the whole script and history of the YogaGaia practice. So make sure you're alert. We're going to begin by sitting down, but listen to what she has to say, because there's the big bang that occurs and then we jump up out of our chairs. So we're going to be part of this whole eruption and creation, and it's very, very exciting. Hasita and I have been practicing for a couple of weeks, this whole thing. So I can guarantee you're going to have a lot of fun. So I present Hasita Nadai, or Agatha Nadai, and I'm going to turn it right over to you, Hasita.
Good evening to all of you. I'm very honored to have you around. I don't see the crowd, but I know it's there. And I hope you hear me. So the whole idea of this afternoon, and also of YogaGaia, when we start, we need to have an open mind, actually an empty mind, an open heart, and playfulness. That's all what we need. Pay attention, if you can, of my words, and just imitate my movements, which are the somatic expression of what I'm telling you. It's our story. Put your feet placed well into the ground. Relax your shoulders. A long neck, and the crown of the head is pressing up. Feel the palm of your hands on your thighs. Breathing in slowly, gently, and deeply into your belly. And very slowly exhale, pressing the navel against the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Feel the lips over your lips. The tongue against the palate. The eyelids over your cool, moist eyeballs. Feel the beating of your heart. We're going to do an amazing journey. We're moving back in space and time for billions of years. Feel your body. Dive into the silence, dive into the music. It's a very long journey where slowly we lose our sensory receptors. We're going back in space and time. Way back in space and time. Start to dive into the silence of the sound. There will come a moment we have no sensory receptors left. And slowly we are reaching a point where we reach the point, we call it nothingness. There are no things left. And there is a wave of desire sparkling. A wave, a mysterious wave of desire with intention to manifest. Breathing in and breathing out. And it happened. Jump around, the Big Bang happened 13.7 billion years ago. Do it all, jump with me. Inhale and exhale. 13.7 billion years ago, the cosmos was created with the intention to manifest of that incredible, mysterious desire wave came to be. Inhale and exhale, the palm of the hands open. And now, because of this incredible afterglow of this energy, we are propelled forward for the rest in this cosmos. Everything shakes. This is the wonderful energy propagated by the Big Bang we call the afterglow. Step a little bit forward. Inhale and exhale, keeping the palm of the hands open, hands to your heart. When the cosmos came to be, the cosmos is the universe made out of body, mind, and spirit. And the cosmos expressed itself first in trillions of little subatomic particles all over. Subatomic particles. Step back and had these particles expanded a 1/30th of a second faster. Look around and step forward. We would not be here. It is a miracle that we are here. And step a little bit forward and had these particles expanded a 1/30th of a second slower. We would not be here. It is a miracle that we are here. Put the feet wide apart and twinkle. And remember that everything in this cosmos is made of the dust of these very first stars. Everything, from our ants and mosquitoes to this Saturn and Newton, all the stars, and the trees and us. We are all connected. Everything in this cosmos is connected. And wiggle. Put the hands together and come down. Hands to your heart. The miracle of the creation of the cosmos. Inhale and exhale. And hands to your heart. Feel the miracle. Feel the beating of your heart. This story is based on science. That's the way it is. When the cosmos came to be, soft elbow and curved arms, with the fingers apart. When the cosmos came to be, it expressed itself in a form of curvature. This curvature is space and time. This is Einstein. Inhale, and this is the cosmic embrace. Exhale. Inhale, and then put out your zit spoons. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Relax your shoulders, and then just go around with very mindfulness. Look between the space of your hands. It is between your hands. There is chaos. And whenever there is chaos, is transformation. Inhale, arms up, and exhale down. And the universe, when it transforms, it creates. The universe plays. It loves to play. Think of the giraffes. Think of that elephant. The moon. It cares and it plays. It plays and it cares. Come here standing still. Put the weight on your left foot. Unweigh the right and lean the right heel against the left ankle. Open up your arms. Bend the right elbow and bring the right arm up. Bend the left elbow down and then touch the index finger with the index finger with the thumb. And this is the yoga mudra. And who we are now, we are in a yoga world called the goddess of transformation, Shiva. We are all Shiva. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. That's the birth of the cosmos. We're still dancing. Just dance. Hands to your heart. Inhale and exhale. Time is going by. Billions of years. And there it is. A firing, burning rock came off of the solar nebula. The solar nebula which core had made the sun. And this is happened, happened 9 billion years ago, and we were 4.5 billion years old. This is us, the planet Earth. Had it been much bigger, it would have become a frozen vapor made out of like Neptune or Uranus. Much smaller, it would become a iron rock, would have become like Mars. But we have the perfect size. Another miracle. And come around and admire the perfect size. The perfect size is because the inner electromagnetic forces are balanced with the outer gravity forces, inner magnetic, outer gravity. And therefore the young crust of the earth could break. The crust of the earth could break. And then the inner core of the earth will come up and form the very first mountains, which later formed glaciers, rivulets, brooks, waterfalls. And then the crust, the beginning was soft and thin and formed basins. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now, if you can, otherwise keep on standing or sitting down, step forward with the right leg and come down to the left knee. And then it rained for billions of years. It rained and look up and look down at your fingers. Inhale and it rained. Inhale up, exhale, it rained. Once more up and look down. And the water, the rain is filling up the basins. And this became our very first oceans. Our very first oceans came to be. Put down the other knee if you can. And then lightning struck the planet Earth for 100,000 of years. It's a story of miracles, you will see. And then you come down, if you can, the child pose or widen your knees, move a bit from right to left, and then the first creatures came to be. First, some inorganic matter turned into organic matter we call autopoiesis. And autopoiesis is the beginning of life, from the microbes, very small cells, to a combination of cells, to little organisms. And all the first life started, as far as we know, in the oceans. And it became very crowded too. And actually once, there was an algae, and actually fungus too, who got sick and tired of this very filled up ocean. It's too crowded. And they landed on the soilless crust of the earth. And the tree came out of that, and life started. can do all kind of movements. And then with the fingers open, curl your toes and come up standing. That's the hardest pose we did. Inhale and exhale. Feel the beating of your heart. Feel breathing in and out. Bring down your arms. Bring up the right arm. Keep down the left. And then just whirl. Everything on this planet Earth, in the cosmos, not just the planet Earth, in the whole cosmos whirls. The most microscopic partial part of cells. Everything whirls in this cosmos. And then bring out the arms, then propelled by the energy of the afterglow. We are on a irreversible spiral of evolution. That first afterglow from the Big Bang. So we are moving into greater differentiation, greater diversity, greater interdependence. And we are moving towards greater consciousness. The universe is a splendor, is an ongoing splendor. And we are in a dance of this spiral of creation. And creation is a probability of infinite possibilities. Remember that. And you can do your own dance a little bit. How about dancing a little bit in honor of this beautiful cosmos? Understanding that we are all connected. That it's a story of complete miracles. There is a consciousness in everything. In us too. Enjoy it. And slowly, you can slowly move back, breathing in and out, and sitting on your chair. Sit on your chair, place the feet well into the ground. Ground yourself well, shoulders relaxed. We go into the meditation. Take in our story. Breathing in and out, shoulders relaxed. Think of our life on this planet, the whole life of the cosmos. Open your eyes and feel your body. Listening to your breath. And now I want to move forward so you can see me better and I can see better too and hear you. You keep on sitting. It's a nice part of zooming here. Okay, I can hear you better too. Breathing in and breathing out. We will do conversations now. We as humans have a gift of behavioral flexibility. That means we do not have to follow all the instincts. What I'm saying now is a general view. We have a special part of the brain where we can choose, which is here the frontal lobe. However, just to make it sure, there are different creatures too who can do it. But in a black and white way to see, that's generally the case. We have behavioral flexibility. We can choose. What we chose to do, we created an era we called anthropocentric. We are the center of everything. We know everything better. The whole world is made for us. That's what we created. Then we can also choose, and the doors are open now, to move into an ecocentric view. The ecocentric view, these views have been seen by one of my teachers, is Thomas Berry. An ecocentric view where we are aware of our interdependence and connections to all there is. We can evolve toward an ecozoic era, says Thomas Berry, where our presence to the planet will be in a mutually enhancing way. We will know that we are a community of subjects and not a collection of objects. We will feel that every aspect of creation has its presence, its dignity, and its rights. Everything. Even the mosquitoes and the ants. We need to be fascinated and entranced by the beauty of this planet. I want to read you as an end one of the poems I love, written by Drew Dellinger, one of my favorite poets. And I met him when he was very young, and I was younger too. He was a follower of the teachings of Thomas Berry. Just a minute. It's a little old book. It's called the Hymn to the Sacred Body of the Universe. Let's meet at a confluence where you flow into in me, and one breath swirls between our lungs. Let's meet at a confluence where you flow into me, and one breath swirls between our lungs. For one instant, to dwell in the presence of the galaxies. For one instant, to live in the truth of the heart. The poet says, this entire traveling cosmos is a secret one, slowly growing a body. Two eagles are meeting, clasping each other's claws and turning cartwheels in the sky. Grasses are blooming, grandfathers dying, consciousness blinking on and off. All of this is happening at once. All of this vibrating into existence out of nothingness. Every particle forming into existence, transcribing the ineffable, arising and passing away, 23 trillion times per second. When the Buddha saw that, he smiled. 16 million tons of rain are falling every second on the planet. An ocean perpetually falling, and every drop is your body. Every motion, every feather, every thought is your body. Time is your body, and the infinite curled inside, like invisible rainbows folded into light. Every word of every tongue is love, telling a story to her own ears. Let our lives be incense burning, like a hymn to the sacred body of the universe. My religion is rain, My religion is stone. My religion reveals itself to me in sweaty epiphanies. Every leaf, every river, every animal, your body, every creature trapped into the gears of corporate nightmares. Every species made extinct was once your body. You are the dark that holds the stars in intimate distance, that spun the whirling world into existence. Let's meet at the confluence where you flow into me and one breath swirls between our lungs. Drew Dellinger. I invite you now to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. At the next inhale, let's exhale with the sound of Om, peace. Om. And then Alyom Shanti, peace to the mind, peace to the heart, harmony to the body and health, peace to all the beings, which include the mountains and the rivers. Put the hands to your heart and recognize the sunshine in your heart. And let's greet each other's sunshine. It is in our heart. Blessings to all. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Hasita. Ooh, I'm exhausted and I'm like that volcano.
You like it, huh?
Very hot. Hasita, I'm going to invite everyone to, if they're interested in asking some questions about the YogaGaia and a little bit about you. My first question, I'll be the first to ask. What inspired you to create this YogaGaia practice?
Well, I'm here a long time on the planet, so the story is long. I have to cut it short. Anyhow, since I was very young, my father and both mother, they were very much connected to the planet and also music, Vienna. But then then the war came and we had to run. We ran from country to country to country. And then my parents never forgot to lose the spirit because they always saw the beauty of nature. One of the peak dramas, one of them, we became homeless. We back in Split. And we were sleeping on sawdust, with ancient Roman building in Croatia at that time. And she pokes my dad and says, look at the sky, look at the moon, and look at the stars. And I was making believe to sleep, but I was looking up to. When we had no food, we found the fig trees in Split. And we said, thank you. So that was the invitation of survival of the spirit, being in touch with nature. So the rest of my life followed that. Hiking, climbing, canoeing, loving the planet Earth. And then I did a lot of other things to bring kids back into nature after the war. And then got involved in science to find out how everything works in nature. And then one day, many years later, I also went down the Grand Canyon in Colorado and fell in love with the rocks. And there I wanted to had questions to ask. So I took an introductory course in geology. I was 50 years old then. And then it took me many more questions when I got my master's. And then yoga comes in, which embraces everything, and cosmology, and my continuation to do everything I can to bring that love for this planet Earth to whomever I can and to myself. That's a big picture.
Thank you. So I'm going to invite anyone who would like to ask Hasita a question just to unmute yourself.
Sure. Any questions available?
Hasita, I was curious. I saw on your website that you do a lot of programs and events in the Italian Alps. Is that a place that is special to you, or why do you choose to work there a lot? I was just curious.
Okay. I loved mountains and Alps. And when I was a teenager, right after the war, there was a meeting for young. I was a teenager, a meeting in Turin of the Scouts, and I was one of the first people there. And they took us up in the Alps. And then I fell in love, and I called my parents and I said, "What are you doing this summer?" It was just the summer after the war. Because if you don't come with me in the mountains, I won't come back home. So, so I found this fantastic place in another valley. Then I took my parents there, and that was a healing place after the war. We were always hiding and so on. So that healing place, that particular part of the Italian Alps, they're all gorgeous, was above the timberline, and there's one hotel. And so I used to go back, take my daughter there when she was a kid, and all my friends. But then I decided to do the yoga program there. It's nothing better than that. So we go up, there are ways to get there now, of course, easily. And we go up to above the timberline once upon a time. Now climate warming, get nice pine trees coming up. And then we live in the hotel. It's an 200-year-old hotel. And we're on the southern side of the Matterhorn. And then we do yoga, hiking, and then always introduce the environment there, the flora and the rocks, and the story of all the rocks, and how the environment changes. Take few steps up the hill, up the mountain, and the different flowers coming up. It's the flora of the mountains, the survival of these plants from the winter to the spring. Each one of them has a story of survival. So these are the places of healing. Sheep and goats.
Sounds magical.
Hasita, Cynthia here. What you've created here is absolutely magic of such a high order that you're transporting. It seems as though you've integrated so many different understandings of this world and of life, not only humanity, but the planet, the cosmos. Has this been the culmination of all of your knowledge throughout the years? Or maybe was there a point of inspiration that pulled all of these together for you to create such an event like tonight?
It's a very good question. First, I'm not answering right away. When I go in the Alps, I do 1 hour for 6 days. And then we don't skip billions of years. And we do every part of evolution, from the first cells to the first organisms to the human. And there's the last one is evolution of desires. So this is based on my biological science. I was always enthralled by that beauty and always want to share what makes me happy. So when I was teaching in college, at my generation, because things have changed, and not my advisors who kind of liked me, at Columbia, I could not show any emotions, otherwise I was not a scientist, you see. So therefore, I was very happy through time. Of course I would show the beauty of all of that. And then I met my teachers who opened up my doors too, beside the yoga world. These are Thomas Berry, Joanna Macy, and they talked the language, they talked into my heart. I knew that, but they gave me the whole perspective and how to explain it and how they got to that point. Those are amazing teachers I had. We did beautiful quests. We went meditating. We went up in the different parks, national parks, and so on. And then slowly and surely, more and more I could embrace with all these experiences these amazing teachers gave me, but they really spoke to my heart. The universe, the world is a lover, the world is a lover, and the world is me. Joanna Macy's, the first book I found, and then I could not meet her. And she was a teacher for me till all the time. So then you find the teachers. And they also come, so I'm very much involved in all of these teachings. There are some of them, they're spiritual, you cannot separate them. That's the way we survive. And there's a lot of them. So it is, you find your way. Again?
You started out with love, looking up at the stars or finding the fig.
And the gratitude that we are on this planet Earth.
Yes.
I went walking. I was one of the first grassroots movements of scouts. We didn't make cookies then. They're different than scouts at the very beginning. So I then took kids hiking on weekends, of course, couldn't go far away. The war just had ended. So this gave me a lot of impetus on learning how to bring kids outside, and I took special courses of scout leaders who were professors of philosophy and natural science. So all of these took me there to do that. And there was no way to stop. And then I met my high school sweetheart, and what we found together from high school, we found together the love for the mountains and the oceans. So we went hiking all our life, climbing different mountain chains in this country, in Italy, in Peru. So it's a constant discovery. Want to find out how did these mountains came to be, the glaciers. So it's a love story. And also following the teaching of Thich Nhat Hanh, who is my favorite teacher lately when I met him, is understanding that interbeing, we're all connected to everything. That's what it teaches, and that's what science shows us. And that is what I like to teach when I do yoga and meditation. Understand how we're all connected. So there was no dream for the future. Every step couldn't happen. In nature, you find all that. There's no end to it. The life of the trees. They are just total miracles. So that is my religion. Yes.
Hasita, it's Pamela. Is your work archived in any way? Have you written, I'm sure you've written tons, but is there like a book or a video story? Because you're a treasure.
There were some movies taken, but now I'm trying to revive them because the filmmaker wanted to do them, didn't continue. I have the words written, beside the movements, I have the story of the universe written the way I bring it out. Okay, so I'm doing that. Yeah, I wish I could have had more of this, but that not enough. And I did give programs in different parts of this country of YogaGaia, and invited to do that for different places. The Metta Institute, Green Mountain Monastery, and then Brahmani always invited me at Kripalo with Jashoda to do a YogaGaia for the teachers to be. So there's a seeds being disseminated. But I can write out the story which I wrote, which is for everyone. But that's it. Unfortunately, it's not enough was done that way, so we can have it. But
I just want to say, Hasita, that this was absolutely wonderful and inspirational. This was wonderful, and inspirational. And I just want to thank you, and I can feel it totally in my body, which you have the YogaGaia.
You can give me. Thank you so much. And you are?
I am Janet Alona Catalina.
Okay, thank you so much. That is the gift you give me.
Hi, I'm Kristen. Hasita, thank you so much. I too can just feel this wonderful, wonderful energy in my body, and I'm curious about the movements. I think about Tai Chi, and I think about the movements that Gurdjieff came up with, and I think about how wonderful it would be to be able to do these movements, in the morning. And I'm just wondering, do you, aside from the beautiful story that provides the background for these movements, do you teach them as independent movements? Story. Or
I have written the story with all the description of the movements. All the descriptions. So which I use for myself, and also the music. It's all written down. If you're interested in it, just send me an email.
Okay.
Because it's yoga movements.
Do you also teach this form of yoga yourself, where individual people can come to you as an individual or a group?
No, I teach regular yoga, and of course I put in always a little bit of our connection to the planet. But if people would like to do that, I would love to do it too. Yeah, but you need to have fresh air and go outside after this coronavirus. But if people want to get together and learn to do it, I love it.
I did. First of all, I wanted to thank her for reminding us that the universe is playful. We need to hear that and believe it. And I remember I studied astronomy, and we did the Big Bang, and I studied yoga. So you do make the connection that it's about unity. It's about being the oneness, and about,
exactly,
and the explosion, and then coming back to each other. And I heard a scientist talk about how perfect the Earth is in size, or else we wouldn't be able to have the moon in place. And it was just amazing, because you really approached it where everything had more meaning, because there was the science backed. And I really appreciate it. And I wanted to thank you and say namaste.
Yeah, thank you. Because in science, there's so much understanding of these miracles, of the story of the universe. And it's not rigid. It's not a rigid, the whole story is just, I had fantastic teachers too. Dr. Jansky was one of my first genetic teachers, famous, at Columbia University. He said, the evolution is neither predetermined nor random. It's a co-creation. And I started to take many courses in genetics. But there are new teachers coming up too, every moment. So if you can get together a group, then if you send it out, and if I'm invited to do a YogaGaia program, you also can do it here in Westchester. I don't know where you live. We have a garden, we can do the yoga outside. I do teach yoga outside.
I was going to say that I've had really heavy energy. My mother died 3 weeks ago, and it's been in my body. It's just a very strange feeling, and I didn't know what to expect tonight, but my body feels a lot lighter now than it has in several weeks. So thank you for that. It was a tough emotional year. And she was out of town too. I wasn't in the same state. She's in Michigan.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I'm really lucky, because I slipped in to see her in March before the coronavirus went crazy. Yeah, no, it was really, I got to say goodbye, and then 2 days later they wouldn't let you fly. So, I was really lucky. But anyway, I also wanted to ask you on your written piece, it mentioned Philip Glass.
That is my favorite.
Yeah.
That was the meditation.
Yes. Now, is that something had he written that as a meditation, or is that a part of a larger piece?
It is a piece of a larger piece.
So my question is, what do you think the universe is telling us and nature is telling us with this pandemic? What do you think it's trying to express?
I can invent things. The cosmos is telling us, wake up. Wake up. Right?
I like that. I like that.
Wake
Thank
up.
you.
Look what you're doing. What you're doing to this planet.
Okay. Thank you.
Look, just in a few weeks, we have a blue sky sometimes.
I know.
Water in Venice, the fish went back. Just a little bit. Don't have to do too much. That's expression of our Mother Earth.
Right.
Thank
Love
you.
you, Aggie.
Love you.
Thank you. Hasita, I want to thank you so much. I do want to put a shout out. Janet Catalina on Monday nights has a pulse call. I can send that out to everyone as well. WHN is sending out weekly information, and Pam is going to be sending out the next month of
Very good.
speaking.
I love that, yeah.
She loves you, Pam.
Oh, I love you too, Hasita. And you know, when you were talking about Uranus is in Taurus now, and Taurus is the sign that's linked to Venus and the Earth. So we are getting shock and awakening. So it was great that you said wake up. And I just think it's incredible that the sea turtles were like just rocking out on the beaches. And it's, as you say, the Earth can do what she needs to do very quickly. We just, I mean, ideally, part of what's coming out of this is a lot of people are learning that they don't have to work 24/7, and they value, not everybody's happy being at home necessarily, but family time or time to be quiet. And we haven't really done a lot of that as a society, certainly not in the States. And so, and we can't wait to get back out into the earth, into the mountains. So that's all part of the collective energy and prayer work, envisioning that this time when we get to go back, we're respectful.
Hopefully.
They're beautiful movements of thousands of people who want to stand up and work for the planet. Actually, I will send it to you, Cynthia. I just got it, and we use it we're doing the reading of in the Green Yoga Sangha, a little community we meet once a month, but now twice a month. So it's a beautiful reading. Maybe maybe can spread it out.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to say, I too believe there is a much larger purpose of what's happening with the coronavirus in terms of shifting the planet. And I think it's an awakening, it's a slowing down, and it's really a time for a lot of people connecting to nature and spiritual growth. And I am doing the call every Monday at 8 o'clock, which actually envisions the planet in this new higher state. So I welcome everybody onto the call.
I'm sending everybody who's been on this call, I'll send that information.
Wonderful.
Great.
Yeah, so you just found out, right? You found out that the cosmos is a space between time and space. There is chaos. Transformation happens.
Right.
We're proving it right now.
Absolutely.
What transformations we're going through.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being on the call. I hope to see you again.
How beautiful. Look at that.
You obviously get our information, and we're happy to see you the next meeting, whether it's here or in Hartsdale.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I think also all of this possibility that's coming up with Zoom. I mean, I haven't seen Pamela in months now. You're in Mexico, but you're right here with us.
See, I mean, I love the teleconference thing for obvious reasons, but I don't know. I mean, Kathy and I talked about traditionally WHN closes down in July and August, but you know, maybe this is a way to do it periodically, but we'll
That's
see.
a good idea. Maybe just have one, maybe a combined thing for July or August.
Yeah, wonderful to see you all at this.
And then we have a television next by for the people who are in Mexico.
Yeah, well, and I also think some of our members can't, for one reason or another, make the evening meetings easily. So it is another option for people. So even when you're able to go back to physical meetings, perhaps there's a way to at least Zoom it so some people can see it. But
Right.
Oh, I love that idea.
I'm so technologically savvy.
All right. I'm signing everybody off, folks.
Adios.
Hasta la vista.